Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do a live video here. I know that it's so much easier to do a record, just to record a video and then put it out there. And if you mess up, you can just start all over. And I always do that. When I do a recorded video, it's never the first take. And finally, I just say, "Oh, I'm just going to do it. This time's going to be it," and that. So. Uh, Live videos are a little more awkward sometimes. Like you start your live video and you're like, I wasn't ready. So then you just kind of ramble on for a minute and it's kind of awkward. Well, I just want you to kind of feel like this is a little bit awkward um, when you're watching this because uh, although I am very excited to announce that we're going to start our meeting together on Sunday. We're going to have our worship gathering in person. So this has been a long time coming. We're going to do that. I'm really excited about that. I also know that it's going to be a little bit awkward because it's not going to be normal. It's not going to be how we normally do things. So therefore, I just want to come to you and talk to you a little bit about uh, what Sunday morning is going to look like, so you're prepared and you just kind of know what's going to happen when you get here. I probably won't say everything here. I know you're going to get a letter if you're a attender of Bethel Church. You probably get a letter to today or tomorrow that kind of goes over some of these things. It was originally going to be in the bulletin, so when you read it, you'll kind of catch that it was going to be in the bulletin. We thought we'd just send it to you beforehand. So just want you to be aware. When you come to church on Sunday morning, if you choose to do that, we want this to feel like everybody to feel safe. We want it to be an environment that we come to, and we just want to say yes. We're really trying to minimize risk of infection. So just want to say this at the onset: if you're thinking about coming, you're kind of on the edge, or you're saying, I'm going to go. I want you to know a couple things. First of all, if you are in the more high risk category, and you probably know what that is, over a certain age, if you got, some medical issues going on, or you're just not comfortable because of the people that you come in contact with. I mean, there's a lot of younger people who are pretty healthy who come in contact with older people who are more at high risk often, and they don't want to spread that to them. So just know, don't feel bad about not coming to the in-person. I know there's kind of an eagerness and excitement about coming, but at the same time, don't feel bad about staying home and worshiping with us via the online broadcast. This is why we have that option. We moved everything back up to the sound booth. We have the camera all set up. We did a live stream test, so we're trying to make that as good as we possibly can for you to worship with us that way. So if you're in that category of high risk, or you're just not comfortable coming yet, we want you to know that there's no judgment here. We understand. We get it. Also, just to make it very clear, if you're sick, if you've ever a cough, any other symptoms that are associated with COVID, please don't come to the in-person service. Stay home. If you've been around somebody who has been sick, even if you don't know for sure if they've had COVID or whatever, if you just been around somebody that's been sick, we would rather that you not come to the in-person gathering at this time. Having said that, I want you to remember some other things that returning back to church does not mean that we're returning to normal. And I think I had a misconception when this whole virus thing started, that we're gonna cut out church for a little bit. We're gonna worship online. It's gonna be kind of a rough, however long, but then it's gonna be over. We're gonna return. We're gonna have potlucks and we're gonna have hugs and we're gonna do all this stuff. But that hasn't been the case. We've known that for a while. Even the returning back to church, one of my friends who started church a while back, and a number of pastors have said that coming to church is just a little bit awkward. One of my friends said it was like a first date. You just don't know how to act around each other. It's just weird. And so it is going to be a little bit awkward. It's not going to be normal. We need to understand that what we're doing here is we're on a path to normal. We're getting there. We're moving in that direction. We can't just stay at home, and not go on with these things. So, well, things are going to be a little bit awkward. We do need to remember that we are going to be gathering. That is what the gathering of the saints. And even though that's not going to look the same, it's not going to be quite normal. We're not going to be able to, to have the intimacy that we normally have at those gatherings. We're still on a path. We're still gathering, and our primary purpose there is to worship. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come and we're going to worship. I remember David Platt's book, Radical, where he talked about in that book that, what would church look like if we just stripped away all the lights, the glitter, the sound, the music, the big, all these things, and we're just left with the Word of God and to worship God the way He has prescribed. We just sing, but there's no glitz, there's no glitter, there's no big band, there's no nothing, there's no decoration. He just kind of went on, and he made the point. What is the point of gathering? And for a lot of our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world, it isn't about all these other things. It's about gathering together, and it's about worship. So, and I think we're going to kind of maybe feel a little bit of that. Our primary purpose, yes, it's going to be great to see one another. It's going to be great to just come together finally, but we are coming to worship. And having said that, when we come together, we're gonna focus on the worship, and so we're gonna limit some things. First of all, we are gonna limit the time of our service. We're gonna limit things in a number of ways. First of all, we're not gonna have Sunday school. We're not gonna start Sunday school probably until September, just based on quarter wise. So that's the way that's gonna work. So we're probably gonna push Sunday school off for quite a while yet through the summer. We're going to start our Sunday morning worship time at 10:30. So I know that's a little bit different. It's going to throw some people off, but 10:30 is the worship service. So we're going to start at 10:30. That's the same time line services have been starting. So we're gonna start at 10:30, and we're gonna just sing a couple songs. We're not going to sing a lot. We're going to limit the time of the message. And limit things for a while. I would have you remember a number of things as we come together and worship. First of all, we're going to practice social distancing. So we want you to try to maintain a distance from others. Proper socially distancing, we're told, is like 6 from others where possible. We know that's not going to be probably totally possible at every instance, but we're going to ask you to try to do that, to maintain that social distance. We're going to encourage you to wear a cloth face covering in areas where it's difficult to maintain that proper socially distanced from other people. Encourage you to wear it during congregational singing if you can. We're not, just want to make it clear, we're not requiring face masks to be worn, but we're encouraging them so that everybody feels safe. We know that that's kind of one of those things that's a difficult area, and different people have different opinions and different thoughts on those things. But, we do know how the virus does spread, and we do know that people feel safe wearing the cloth face covering. So we would ask you to do that. So suppose singing, we're told, is one of the things that spreads the virus into the air. So we're gonna limit the time we do sing, and that's why that's why we're encouraging you to wear the face covering when we're singing. So probably don't sing like you're in the shower. Sing like you're at home with your family, and also. Remember to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer often. We've placed hand sanitizer in the foyer. There's a touchless deal on the foyer table that you can use to get hand sanitizer. There's soap in the bathrooms that you can use to wash your hands. Just remember to do those things often. Cover your coughs, your sneezes, with a tissue or the inside of your elbow. These are just basic CDC guidelines. Also, we're going to tape off like every other pew, just to help us to maintain a proper socially distance thing there. So just don't sit in the taped off pews. If they're taped off, they're trained there to help us to properly social distance. We are not going to pass an offering plate. Part of the reason is just the distance between people if we're limiting pews and trying to sit far apart. And then we're just kind of limit the things that we come in contact with. So we're not going to pass an offering plate, but we're going to take an offering. So there's a chest. You'll see it on the foyer table when you walk in. It says Bethel Church on it. It looks kind of like a little treasure chest thing. And it's a wood thing, and it's got a wood burned Bethel Church in it. It's very nice. There's a card slot in the top. You can drop your offering in there when you're coming or going to church at your convenience. You can do that. So that'll be on the foyer table. Next to that, it's going to be some hand sanitizer. So really, you don't have to touch anything to do the offering. Another thing, just after church, when we dismiss, we're going to start with the back of the church, and we're going to dismiss those people at the back of the church first, and they're going to go out, and then we're just going to do that. We're going to leave the church. We're not going to ask you not to stay around in the building and visit. We know that a lot of people are going to want to stay around, and they're going to want to talk, and that's just one of those areas where it makes it awkward for people that want to practice social distancing to have to walk through a bunch of people. So we're going to dismiss from the back of the church, and we're going to walk out. And if you would like to stay and visit with people, we would ask that you just do that outside. There's a lot of space outside where you can properly social distance and make everybody feel comfortable walking to their vehicle or whatever without having to walk through a group of people. So we're trying to take steps that allow you to do that in church. Speaking of social distancing, you can always, if you feel more comfortable, you can always go to the fellowship hall or the junior choir room on each side, where you can get a little more distance there and listen to the service in an overflow. If that makes you feel more comfortable, those areas will have the sermon, have the message and worship time playing. So feel free to do that. I know there's probably some things here that I forgot because it is a live video, and I know I'm going to quit it. I'm going to be like, I should have mentioned that other thing, but I don't remember anything more. So I am really looking forward to seeing a number of people on Sunday. If you're not going to be able to come, if you choose not to come, feel free to reach out to me and message me and just, I would love to visit with you too. And I just want to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page here, that, we just went through Romans 14, and, just regardless of different opinions on this, regardless of where we're at on the spectrum of being careful and worried and concerned about contracting the virus or infecting others or whatever, and the desire to get back to normal, we just recognize that there's so many people along this spectrum And we just need to think of one another on both sides, and not hold it against one another, that if they choose to do this. And I want you to know that if you're not here Sunday, I'm not going to take that personal. I don't think that's a sign that you're more spiritual, that you're here or you're not. And so, but I would really like to visit with you. And if you're planning on coming, and there's some concerns, there's some thoughts that I didn't get to today, the things that you had, feel free to reach out to me and visit with me about those as well. I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, it might be a little bit awkward on Sunday. Probably not going to be a ton of time to visit with people either. So we'll just see how it goes, and we'll just start from there, and we'll just keep plugging away. But I am so excited to gather and worship together, and just want you to be excited about that too, and just come into this aware and know kind of what to expect and what to see. So just thank you for listening this morning. Take it easy.